No, he's all set.
Tom's on it. Oh, I got the autograph too.
His daughter has her white coat.
Evening.
We just stopped in today.
We have a quorum of the newly elected board president.
Pull this mic closer.
Oh, yeah, we're going to move your mic.
All members have been sworn in and duly elected for a term of 2 years. Therefore, I'm going to call the meeting to order. First order of business tonight is the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Our second item tonight is the election of Board of Education officers. We follow Robert's Rules of Orders. Does not require a second, but I will ask for a nomination for board chair.
Okay. It's an absolute honor to nominate Jessica Lafredo for chair of the Rocky Hill Board of Education. As both a teacher and a mom of 3 kids in our Rocky Hill schools, Jessica brings a really special perspective. She knows what's happening in our classrooms because she's there every day, and she knows what families experience because she's living it too. Jessica leads with heart. She's thoughtful, patient, and always focused on what's best for our students. She's not afraid to make tough decisions, and when she does, you can count on her to have done her homework, to have listened, and to make choices that are fair and well-reasoned. She also has a real gift for bringing people together. Jessica works across the aisle, builds bridges, and reminds us that no matter our differences, we're all here for the same reason, to support our kids and our schools. Rocky Hill would be in great hands with Jessica as chair, someone who truly lives and breathes this community in our schools. I am very proud to nominate Jessica Lafredo for the chair of the Rocky Hill Board of Education.
Thank you, Ms. Pinella. Any discussion or any other nominations for chair of the Board of Education? Okay. The policy requires that I conduct a voice vote, and then we record the votes in writing. So I have one candidate nominated, Jessica Lafredo. I'm going to do a roll call of board members per policy, and you'll either vote yay, nay, or abstain. Mr. Brian Addy.
Yay.
Ms. Jennifer Barron-Morfea.
Yay.
Mr. Jay Chabra, are you with us on speaker, which is permissible since COVID to call in?
Hold on, let me turn the volume up. Hold on. Okay, try again, Jay.
Yes.
Your vote is yay?
Yay.
Yay, thank you. Brian Clemens?
Yay.
Thomas Kosker?
Yay.
Kristen Dudanowitz?
Yay.
Jessica Lafredo?
Yay.
Maria Manella?
Yay.
Amber Tucker?
Yay.
Congratulations, 9-0. Our new board chair.
Okay, thank you very much. I really, truly do appreciate the support and that nomination, that beautiful nomination from our longest rating member, Ms. Manella. Thank you for your continued service to the Board of Education, and I do appreciate your nomination. I will have some further remarks at the end of our agenda today, but the next order of business is to elect our vice chair for Board of Education. So with that, I will entertain a nomination. Ms. Morfea.
It's my honor to nominate Maria Manella for Vice Chair of the Rocky Hill Board of Education. For over 17 years, Maria has been steady, guiding voice on this board. She brings a wealth of knowledge, not just from her many years of experience, but from being a mom of 3 children who have come through the Rocky Hill schools. She truly understands what our students need, what our teachers face, and what our families hope for. What really stands out about Maria is her calm, fair, and even-keeled leadership. No matter the situation, she listens carefully, considers every perspective, and helps bring people together. She's respected because she's steady, thoughtful, and always focused on doing what's right for our students. Maria doesn't lead with ego or volume. She leads with wisdom, empathy, and heart. And that's exactly the kind of leadership that keeps this board grounded and moving forward with deep respect and appreciation for her years of service and dedication to Rocky Hill. I am proud to nominate Maria Manella for Vice Chair of the Board of Education.
Are there any other nominations? Any discussion? Okay. There being no further nominations or discussion, I'm going to put this motion for Maria Manella to be vice chair to a vote via roll call. Please respond in favor as aye, opposed as nay, or abstain. Brian Addy.
Yay.
Jennifer Barron Morfea.
Yay.
Jay Shabra.
Yay.
Brian Clemens.
Yay.
Thomas Kosker.
Yay.
Kristen Dudanowitz.
Yay.
I myself, Jessica Lafredo, yay. Maria Manella.
Yay.
Amber Tucker.
Yay.
And that motion passes 9-0. Congratulations, Maria. Okay. Our next officer is secretary. Would anyone like to nominate a board member for secretary?
I would.
Mr. Kosker.
I'm proud to nominate Jay Shabra for Board Secretary. Jay brings a deep understanding of education as a professor, but what really stands out is how he connects with people. I've seen him listen carefully, engage with colleagues across every perspective, and always work to find solutions that put students first. His thoughtfulness, kindness, and genuine commitment to our schools and our students make him the perfect choice for secretary.
Are there any other nominations? Any discussion? Okay, there being no other nominations or discussion, I'm going to put that motion to elect Jay Shabra as our board secretary to a vote via roll call. Again, please respond aye, nay, or abstain. Brian Addy.
Yay.
Jennifer Barron Morfea.
Yay.
Jay Shabra.
Yay.
Brian Clemens.
Yay.
Thomas Kosker.
Yay.
Kristen Dudanowitz.
Yay.
Jessica Lafredo, yay. Maria Manella.
Yay.
Amber Tucker.
Yay.
Congratulations, Mr. Shabra. That motion passes 9-0. We know that you were not available to be with us in person, but we do greatly appreciate you calling into our meeting tonight, and we can't wait to work with you.
Thanks, Jay.
Okay, thank you. All right, that concludes the election of officers for the Board of Education. For our new term and updated contact information for all board members will be posted on the district website very shortly for anyone in the public who wishes to reach out to us via our emails. Next up, we're going to be making an amendment to our agenda this evening. Could I have a motion to move the update on fall sports to agenda item number 3?
So moved.
Thank you so much, Ms. Manella. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Clemens. Is there anyone that is opposed to moving this? Any abstentions? Okay, that motion passes 8-0 to amend our agenda this evening and move our fall update up to agenda item 3A. And at this time, I'm going to pass the microphone over to Dr. Zito and Officer Sarah Raymond for a special recognition this evening.
Thank you. Officer Raymond, if you could join me at the podium. And also Ms. Collado, principal.
Thank you.
So we wanted to recognize some staff members at Stevens who went above and beyond. These two ladies are going to explain more than I am. I was transitioning from one school to the next on November 11th, and Ms. Collado called me and said we had a medical emergency at Stevens School. We had a para, a wonderful woman, was choking on a couple of cough drops. It was a very serious situation. The staff responded very well. They called 911. We had a staff member administer the Heimlich maneuver, dislodge at least one of the cough drops. The school nurse got on the scene quickly. We had Paris in the room that kept everybody kind of calm. The students stayed calm because it was a very traumatic situation. The staff were pretty rattled when I got over there, talked to the principal, Sarah Raymond, Officer Raymond was there. But these people really stepped up and they took life-saving action. This was a pretty serious situation. So we have a number of people we want to recognize. I'm just going to read the names. Nora, and if you could stand up. Nora Alvarez, are you here? Is Carolyn Coette here? I know Carolyn's here. I saw her on the way in. Carolyn. Our school nurse, Miss Kara Capuano. Rebecca Mina. Lisa Muzio, I think I saw Lisa earlier. And Rachel Vigirano. And I'm going to ask the officer to kind of give an overview on what happened that day, give you a little more detail. But these guys were really heroes, and that word is sometimes overused for athletes hitting home runs or throwing touchdown passes, but these guys really, they were heroes on this day.
All right. On November 11th, 2025, a staff member at Myrtle H. Stevens School experienced a medical emergency after beginning to choke in the Learn Center. In the moment of crisis, several staff members demonstrated extraordinary courage, composure, and teamwork, actions that very likely saved a life. Staff immediately recognized their colleague was in distress and took swift, life-saving measures, while simultaneously ensuring the safety and emotional well-being of the children in the room. Despite being unable to reach assistance through the school radio and the classroom phone, the team remained calm and focused. Without hesitation, staff members took turns performing the Heimlich maneuver, while other staff member called 911 and summoned emergency responders. In the midst of the commotion, staff demonstrated exceptional care and judgment by guiding the children to safety while continuing their efforts to dislodge the obstruction. Moments later, their persistence paid off. The object was expelled and the patient was able to breathe again. Thanks to quick thinking, selflessness, decisive actions of these dedicated staff members, a tragedy was averted. Their teamwork and calm under pressure exemplified the very best of Myrtle H. Stevens Schools community. Because of their heroic response, a life was saved. We extend our deepest gratitude and recognition for your bravery, compassion, and unwavering commitment, not only to your students, but to your colleague as well.
So we're going to call you folks up individually. So I'd like to have Nora Alvarez come on up, please. Not here. How about Ms. Coette? Come on up, please. Kara Capuano, I don't know, is Kara not here? Rebecca Mino, come on up, please. Lisa Muzio. Rachel Vigirano. Ms. Collada, do you want to make any comments before we finish?
Just that I'm extremely, extremely grateful for the staff that stepped in this moment of crisis, and they just performed life-saving measures without even thinking twice about it, and I'm just really, really grateful for that. Thank you. And just the same as what Officer Raymond said, I can't say it better. So
Quick thinking, and they responded, and
absolutely.
you know, they stepped up and they saved somebody. It's really,
Yes.
really awesome what they did. So,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Zito and Officer Raymond, for that. Certainly a very scary incident, but thankful for our teachers and paraeducators and our school nurse who stood up and were able to get through that scary situation. Thank you so much. The next agenda item is 3A, and that is an update on fall sports by Mr. Daniel Trudeau. And this is his first report as our new athletic director, so welcome.
Thank you. You know, so as you alluded to, it's my first time doing this. It was an awesome fall. Coming from another district where I was for 6 years in Connecticut, and then previously in Massachusetts, Rocky Hill it's been a really welcome change for me, a great change for me, and that's because what I found is the community is really awesome. We have some awesome kids. You know, like any good school district, there are problems, but we've been able to work through those. And kids show adversity, and we had a really successful fall. Just to talk about some of the success we had, 7 of our competitive teams, which is actually all of our teams, outside of football, who their season hasn't finished yet, qualified for the postseason, which is it is a good accomplishment. In our more individual sports, we had 9 individual student athletes advance in their postseason, meaning they went to the state open, or they qualified for something further than just their regular class meet. We had 2 individuals qualify for the New England Championships in different sports, 10 all-conference athletes, and that's not counting football, where I anticipate we'll get 5 to 6 more all-conference athletes. And you know, as I'll say to the kids and the parents and the coaches, all conference athletes are not voted on by us as Rocky Hill people. They're voted on by other coaches that our kids have participated against. So you know, it is a real honor to get that recognition, because it shows that you are making an impact that other coaches and other educators are seeing. We had 2 all-state athletes this fall, and then probably the most fun part was the run that our girls soccer team made this year. They went all the way to the state semifinals. They lost to the eventual state champion with about 2 minutes to play in the second overtime by a goal. But a really fun experience from a really great group of kids, and really a great experience for our entire student body. As you can kind of see in that picture, that was actually from our last football game. But we had a rocking student body at our quarterfinal game. You know, as equally as important, our success off the field, we had 159 scholar level athletes. 113 of those are CCC all academic, which means that's our varsity athletes, and then another 46 met that same level, but they're our JV level athletes, and that's 159 out of a total of 217 student athletes this fall. So really great academic achievement by our athletes. One of our all-state kids also qualified as an all-state, all-academic team recipient. We had 16 of our student athletes participate in our kind of newly formed Student Senate, which is a new leadership body within the school. And then we did have some teams participate in various community service projects or partnerships with different organizations. You know, we had our girls soccer team participate with Rocky Hill Sidekicks all fall, and that was a really great experience. Our unified sports, for the 3rd year in a row, but my first time experience it, hosted the Unified Sports Leadership Summit last week, which was a really great event run through Special Olympics. We actually, as a school, we hosted the CCC girls soccer semifinals, which we were not in, unfortunately, but we hosted that for our conference, and I actually had great participation from our student athletes to help me appropriately staff that event. And then actually our volleyball team too, they put together a project where they raise money for towards breast cancer. So really great things are happening. We're wrapping up the fall with our Thanksgiving game on Wednesday night against Cromwell in football, and then the Monday after Thanksgiving we'll get going with winter sports. And I have to say, it's already a pretty eager group. I've had to even rein them back because of CIC rules and regulations, but they're a group that's ready to go and wants to go. So that's my fall update. Thank you for having me. Any questions? Thank you.
Just out of curiosity, did the board have any questions or comments that they wanted to make before I let Mr. Trudeau escape? Okay, thank you so much for that report. The next agenda item is audience participation. This is when we open our meeting to the public. We just ask that if you'd like to come up and speak, that you let us know who you are, where you live, and if you could keep your comments to as close to 2 minutes as possible. Is there anyone that would like to address the board this evening? Come on up.
Should I just come up here?
Yes.
Okay. So hi to all the board members and congratulations on your election. My name is Adant Bosle. I'm a senior at Rock Hill High School. And I just want to give you guys a little bit of an update on what is going on in our school. So this year we were able to found the Student Senate program at our school, and we were able to, as Mr. Trudeau mentioned, have so many sports, but also clubs and activities participating at this Student Senate meeting. So we are anticipating to run monthly so we can have as many meetings as possible. And we want to kind of create a community that's tighter, like closer together and closely knit, so we can have other clubs and teams help each other. So that's kind of our initiative and our goal. And also there's many of my students who are also in the crowd today. So we want to have a better connection between the Board of Education and the student body, and I feel that with this new administration and this new board, we can really strive to achieve that. So I thank you all for your support. And just another update, I'm also the founder of the Model UN Club at our school. And I want to invite all of you guys to our conference, which will happen on March 29th on Sunday. Don't worry, I'll send emails well in advance. I did make a mistake last year, but this year I'll send an email well in advance so we can all have attendance. And I would invite many of our audience to also attend. It's a great event, and I'm very excited for that. So yeah, and I'm also very proud to be on the nonpartisan transition team that we have. And I'm really excited to work with everyone to create a better Rocky Hill. And I think we're doing a good job, and I believe that we'll continue to succeed. So thank you for having me. And yeah, thank you to the board members.
And if I remember correctly, you are also going to be a panelist at CABES tomorrow, correct? Yes, okay. Congratulations on being chosen as panelist, and I know you'll represent Rocky Hill to the best of your ability, so thank you. Is there anyone else that wishes to address the board? Come on up.
Hi, I'm Ashita Bose. I'm a freshman at Rocky Hill High School, and thanks to you guys, we created the Rocky Hill High School dance team, and we actually had our informational meeting this Monday, and we had around 36 students come and join a dance team. So since the winter season is coming up, the following Monday we will have our first practice, which is so amazing, and we're working on trying to perform at basketball games and trying to get just the crowd going. And then later in the season, I'm hoping to have a showcase that will display all of the work that our dance team has put in, and I also invite you guys to join. We have not decided on a date yet, but we will soon, and I'll also send out emails, and yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. We look forward to that email. Is there anyone else that wishes to address the board?
I'll be brief. Good evening, everyone. My name is Douglas Russell, and I'm the co-president of the RHTA. On behalf of the association, I'd like to extend our warmest congratulations to the newly appointed members of the board, Mr. Brian Addy and Mrs. Kristen Dudonowitz. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did.
Okay. As well as to the elected positions on the executive board this evening, Mrs. Jessica Lafredo as BOE chairperson, Mrs. Maria Manella as vice chair, and Mr. Jay Chabra as secretary. We want to assure you that we are here to fully support you as you embark on this important work. We look forward to rolling up our sleeves, collaborating with you, and offering our expertise, our knowledge, and our experience in any way that is needed. Thank you again, and congratulations.
Thank you. Are there any other public comment individuals? If not, I'm going to move towards our report of student representatives from the high school. Do we have high school student council members here this evening?
Good evening, everyone. It's really great to see some new faces here after the recent election. For those who don't know me, my name is John B. Patel, and I'm the Board of Education rep for Rocky Hill High School. I'm excited to share some of the things happening at our school lately. First off, students in grades 9, 10, and 11 took the PSATs last month, and the scores are already back. These results give students a good idea of where they are at and help them get ready for the SAT and other future opportunities. We also had the grand opening for the Career Center led by Mr. Chagall. It's an amazing space for students to explore careers, prepare for college, and learn about opportunities for their future. I think we all can agree it's way nicer than my bedroom when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up. Veterans Day was really meaningful this year. Seniors got to meet with veterans in their homerooms to hear about their journeys, and juniors had a similar advisory experience. Freshmen attended an assembly in the gym, while sophomores gathered in the auditorium. It was a great way for students to connect with and learn from people who have history. Spirit Week was last week, and it brought out a lot of energy to the school. Monday was Dunkin' versus Starbucks, Tuesday was Twin Day, Wednesday was White Lies Day, Thursday was Favorite Sports Teams Day, and Friday wrapped things up with Class Colors Day. Friday was also our pep rally, which included dodgeball games and tug-of-war competition between the grades. And yes, even the staff got in on the action. It was a lot of fun to see everyone cheering and competing. Finally, last Saturday, we had the Seal of Biliteracy testing. This program recognizes students who have demonstrated proficiency in another language, which is such an impressive achievement. It's a great way to honor our students' dedication and skills. Overall, it's been an exciting and meaningful few weeks at Rocky Hill High School. I'm proud of our students and thankful to be part of a community that supports them so strongly. Thank you and have a great night.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have a report from student representatives from Merle Stevens School.
All right. Do you want that? You can. Can I use this? Do you want to get up on the stool? Do you want to get on the stool? You want to stand right here? Yes. You hold this one. Can you read? Can you see what you have to read? Yeah. Okay. Use it. All right. Do you want to stand here? Okay.
Good evening, Rocky Hill Board of Education. I am Anaya Sarfa, and I am a third grade student in Miss Terriolo's class.
And I am Andrew Greaves, a third grade student in Mrs. Jen's class at Stevens.
We would like to share some of the exciting activities and events that have been happening at our school.
At the start of the school year, we learned all about our new school-wide expectations. POS. P is for personal best, A is for act kindly, W is for wise choices, and S is for safety first.
We also have new posters showcasing our POS expectations. We are all working really hard to fill our classroom buckets with POS tickets, and if we fill our school bucket, we earn a cozy day. I have good news. We earned it, and we will celebrate it on November 25th.
September 15th was International Dot Day. This day celebrates and encourages creativity, self-expressions, and the idea that each of us can make a mark. Students created their own marks.
For our September POS assembly, we focused on the important theme of respect. Students wrote about ways to model our expectations during their Husky Hour classes and created a puzzle spelling out our POS. Thank you to our student council members for helping to put it together. We also recognize our Student of the Month for specials and learn a new affirmation song.
Our October POS assembly focused on the theme of responsibility. Our special teachers recognized one student from each grade who demonstrated responsibility throughout the month. New to our assembly this year, our classroom spotlights. We had 2 classes perform, and their parents were able to come see them. The kindergartners and first graders were so cute reciting their poems.
Andrew, look at the many Stevens School students who received a Husky Spotlight Award in September and October. Wow, they are doing great things, and their teachers noticed. All students will receive a Husky Hero Spotlight Award this year.
New to our school this year is an amazing book vending machine. Thanks to fundraising efforts and our PTO, students who won the Husky Hero Spotlight Awards get to choose a book from the vending machine. Nanaya, did you know that machine talks to you?
No, I did not. I can't wait for my turn to use it and choose a book. It's all the buzz when our classmates come back with their new books.
On October 9th, 26 students from the high school came to Stevens as part of the Lend a Paw program. They read books with students, helped out in the library, in classrooms, and during fire prevention presentations. We always enjoy when the high school students come to Stevens, and we hope they had fun.
Members of the Rocky Hill Fire Department visited our school as part of Fire Prevention Week. They focused on the importance of having working smoke alarms in our homes. The firefighters showed us the special gear they wear, tools on their fire trucks, and we each received a black firefighter's hat.
On Friday, October 17th, we hold a Pink Out Day to raise awareness and show our support in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. There certainly was a lot of pink throughout Stevens.
On October 31st, we had a black, orange, and purple Spirit Day. The kindergartners got to dress in their costumes and held a parade around our school. They all look so cute and happy.
Rocky Hill Youth Services held a banner signing event during a lunch waves, part of Red Ribbon Week. Every student was able to sign the banner and pledge to be kind every day. We also received a sticker and bracelet reminding us that kindness matters.
Andrew, we've done a lot so far this year. But wait, there's more. This year's Children Book Week theme was Power Up with Reading, and Dave Pilkey was the spotlight author. We read superhero and superpower-themed books and discussed special powers we have as students. We also dressed in ways that make us unique. Let's share one of the jokes. Which superhero hit the most home runs?
Batman. On Veterans Day, we had an assembly honoring 17 veterans in the Stevens School community. Each received awards and cards created by Stevens students to all our veterans and their families. Thank you for your service and sacrifice.
November 13th was World Kindness Day. Being kind to each other, to yourself, and to the world is important. We focused on being kind and sharing ways we can be kind to each other, such as saying hello, holding the door open, and asking someone to join a group or game. Look at our kindness wall.
This fall, we had Running Club, Art Adventures, and Mad Science as before and after school activities. Students could participate in outside of the school day. I know I enjoyed starting my day with some exercise.
Me too. Milo, a 4-year-old therapy pug, and his handler Meg have been visiting our kindergarten classrooms and will visit the other grades as the year goes on. Milo likes to greet humans, play fetch, and chase birds. His favorite treats are peanut butter and dried chicken.
Student Council is currently holding their annual food drive. We are collecting non-perishable items to bring to the Rocky Hill Food Pantry. Thank you to all our families who help support those in need. Thank you for letting us share the great things happening at Stevens School. We want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, and we present a gift for you for supporting our school community.
All right.
right up here.
Pins.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Look at my desk, I'd be like,
Great job reading. Thank you.
You did a great job. Thank you.
yep.
Thank you so much to the representatives from Stevens School for coming up to speak, and for our high school students as well. I think it's safe to say that our board loves this portion of our meeting every single time it comes up, because we love listening to what you're doing in the schools and seeing all of your enjoyment and your smiles. And so we love when you come to share. So thank you so much. It's customary at this time for us to take a quick 5-minute recess, and if there are no objections, we will take a 5-minute recess. Are there any objections? Okay, seeing none, we are going to go into recess for just about 5 minutes. We'll be back.
Oh, she knows you.
I'm ready. She'll be the
Restaurant
only
bar
one
that's
ready.
coming today. It's not dropping her off and coming back.
Yes, apparently she's with this kid's friend.
Yes. So Chloe's going too, Nomads. It's a double.
We just had everybody.
We did that really well.
Maria Manella.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know.
Are you good?
Dozing off.
You good? I know you guys are good.
He's easy to get good pictures, yeah. He's easy to get good pictures of because he's so.
Who's that?
Noah. Noah. If you tell him to smile.
I tried not to have.
Oh, yeah,
I tried
were we
not to
on there?
have a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
coffee
yeah.
tonight.
For the food bank? Yeah.
You guys are working hard.
Yeah, Noah was busting it.
Yes, you guys.
We're ready, go ahead.
yeah.
Bang it. Bang it.
Christian has the boost skill. Where's the bell?
I know, right, my bell.
Just kidding, I'm kidding.
All right, I'm going to call back to order our Board of Education meeting for November 20th after a short recess. We're going to move on to agenda item number 5, which is approval of the minutes. We have minutes from October 16th, which is a policy committee meeting. October 16th, we also have a Board of Education executive session. And we had a regular board meeting also on October 16th, along with October 28th, Board of Education Finance Committee meeting, and on the 28th, we had a Civility and Respect Committee meeting. Are there any additions, deletions, or changes to the minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Clemens.
The October 28th Civility Committee, Ms. Tucker's listed as the committee chair, when I believe it was Mr. Slattery was the chair of that committee.
Thank you. Hold on, let me just pull that up. Yes. Okay, I've noted that change. Are there any other changes, additions, deletions to the minutes?
Make a motion to accept the minutes as amended?
Yes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Clemens. Thank you so much. Motion to, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstain?
Abstention?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. You have an abstention because you weren't here, were you? Actually, we have two, actually, because, yes, we have two new board members, so thank you. All right, so that means 6-0, correct? 6-0 and 2 abstentions. All right. Moving on to agenda item number 6, which is correspondence. Dr. Zito.
We have no correspondence.
Okay. And we have nothing on our consent calendar, which is agenda item number 7. Due to the fact that we had our elections, we have had no other meetings from our last Board of Education meeting in October. So I can move down to agenda item, which I guess is now 8, correct? Because I amended. And that would be the approval of the proposed Board of Education review of policy number 4630, which is the Family and Medical Leave Act, FMLA. This is a second reading for the board. I'd like to open it up for any discussion. Does anyone have any comments to make on policy number 4630? Okay, seeing no discussion, I guess we could take a motion because I believe we are taking board action tonight, correct, Dr. Zito?
Yeah, you can. If you'd like, I can give a quick summary because we have 2 new board members.
Sure, go ahead.
So the Connecticut FMLA regulations essentially expand coverage to all non-certified public and non-public school employees. That went into effect on October 1st, 2025. The law requires that the board policy be consistent with the new law. In Connecticut, basically, it expanded school coverage for non-certified employees are now eligible under the Connecticut FMLA. There's a lot of little provisions that I could get into if you need more detail, but basically it expanded coverage to non-certified people, and it revised the FMLA eligibility for school employees at the federal level now must meet the threshold of 1,250 hours worked in the previous 12 months. So really just compliance, it essentially allows more people in the school system to become eligible for FMLA protection.
Okay. Any questions? All right. Can I please have a motion to add and include policies 4630?
Motion to add policy number 4630, Family and Medical Leave Act, FMLA.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker. Ms. Manella. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion passes. Moving on to agenda item number 10, actually 9, sorry. And that is our first review of the proposed 2026-2027 school year calendar. Dr. Zito, would you like to?
Sure, just a quick overview. It's a pretty standard school calendar. We've had some input from the teachers' union representation, which we appreciate. So a couple folks from the teachers' union got a chance to look at it. That was one of their requests. I want to thank Sandy Mall for working on this, along with Wendy and Annabelle. It's a pretty standard calendar. The rules are simple. We have to have 180 days of school. You'll see that the calendar, the first day for the kids is August 27th, 2026. Last day of school is June 10th. That's an early dismissal day, June 10th of 2027. We have the standard. I think they have that this year too. So you see the various holidays laid out. It's a pretty straightforward. Nothing really odd on this calendar. It's a fairly late Labor Day, so typically that's kind of the issue we always want to look at. And historically, when Labor Day is late, we've started the prior week to get the kids into the building for a couple of days. It's a good way to kind of ease in and then have a Labor Day weekend. So happy to take any questions. Typically, you would review this, come back at the next meeting, and we can entertain any questions or make any change anything based on recommendations from the board. And then once you approve it, typically in December, we'll put it up on, because that's one of the questions we get is when is the calendar going up, because people like to plan. So nothing here struck me as unusual. Like I said, we've had a number of folks from the teachers union look at it, and they seemed satisfied as well.
Is there any other questions or further discussion right now? Mr. Kosker?
Just a quick question. So you mentioned, Dr. Zito, if we have thoughts, I haven't looked at it because it's way too small for my eyes to see, but when I do look at it, if we have thoughts and comments, we can get them to you between now and next meeting. So if there's edits, it's done in the meantime, and then we discuss. Is that the thought?
If you have a question, I would recommend you, or a comment or a suggestion, send it in, and I'll share it with the chair, and we can certainly discuss it at the next meeting.
Okay, perfect.
If you want to amend this.
I don't anticipate. I was just checking. I wanted to make sure I knew the process, that's all.
I mean, it's not unusual. There have been times in the past where board members have asked to change a date or two or brought up a question, so.
Cool. Thank you.
Again, the big issue is usually where Labor Day falls. That's usually the most significant thing to deal with.
Ms. Tucker?
I have just one observation, and it might be kind of silly, but we've marked August 27th as a red box for the first day of school. We've marked June 10th in the red box for the last day of school. But our special observation days is a red box kind of below June. And I put colors together.
Oh, I see.
So if we could just change.
Yeah, we could.
The color coding.
Yeah.
It's silly.
I understand.
Good point.
No?
Some might argue that the first and last days of school.
It is a special days. Agreed.
Or the last day of
We
school.
can look at a different color, correct? Certainly the last day. Yeah. So,
Thank you.
that's actually a good suggestion.
Any other suggestions at the moment? Okay. Please keep looking at it and let us know if there are any other changes that you'd like. Thank you, Dr. Zito. All right, we are moving on to item agenda number 10, and that is Assistant Superintendent for Personnel and Student Services Report, Dr. Diaz.
Good evening. The Cabinet met with the Human, Youth, and Senior Service team this week to discuss new opportunities for after-school engagement. So we're excited to share that we'll be piloting a culinary enrichment program for students in grades 4 and 5th in partnership with the Dream Cafe. This program, facilitated through Human Services, will offer students a theme-based cooking experience, beginning with cuisines such as French and Italian. Sessions will take place after school with limited spots available on a first-come, first-served basis. We will share more details as soon as we finalize the logistics. Beginning in January, we will also launch Breakfast with Friends, a monthly celebration for Dream and Pathway students. And this will be a special opportunity for teachers in these specialized programs to recognize students for their efforts and achievements. Additionally, the Dream Cafe has officially received licensing and permitting approval from the state and the Department of Agriculture to produce dog treats, so we're excited about that. We also held, as you already know, our first Civility Committee meeting. I want to thank everyone in the community that attended the meeting and the board for engaging in such a thoughtful conversation on this important topic of inclusion, kindness, and respect. As a next step, staff will be introduced to the civility framework during December staff meetings. We have also developed a plan for student focus groups, beginning with grades 5 through 12, to ensure we are elevating and listening to student voices directly. In addition to creating a common language and understanding across all schools, we have student assemblies scheduled for the second week of December. School merchandise has been purchased to support this initiative, such as wristbands, banners, and bookmarks. The curriculum office has also aligned the One Book, One Read in the spring at the elementary levels to this initiative. So I want to thank Dr. Schaefer and Mrs. Durant for supporting this great work. From the Human Resource Office, the other side of my responsibility, we have completed and distributed the newly updated substitute handbook to all building substitutes and daily substitute teachers. We also recently hired 5 additional substitute teachers, to support staff across the district. Last week, we held our first induction meeting with them to review the handbook, clarify expectations, and welcome them to a district that prides itself on high standards and excellence. More updates will follow as these exciting initiatives continue to grow. I am happy to answer any questions.
I have one follow-up question. Are they permanent substitutes or just substitutes on a daily basis when you need them?
These are considered daily substitutes.
Thank you. Mr. Kosker, did you have a question?
Yeah, it was sort of related to that. I was just, what's the total number of building subs we have in district? Because I always get confused about this.
We have 2 building subs per building, and I don't have the exact amount of daily subs.
No, not daily, because I know that fluctuates like crazy, right? Like the daily.
Yes, the daily
so
subs.
2 per
2
building.
per building.
2 per building, 3,000, okay. The permanent kind of full-time sort
Yes.
of building subs, okay. I just couldn't remember, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you,
you.
Dr. Diaz. Moving on to Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Operations, Dr. Nozek.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I want to extend my congratulations to our new Board of Ed members and our new officers. Included in your packet is the financial report reflecting year-to-date figures for the month ending October 31st. The following accounts I'd like to highlight at this time is line item 113, salaries. The paraprofessional account is currently in deficit due to the needs of the students requiring paraprofessional support. And then line item 561, tuition, the in and out of district is currently reflecting a deficit. This includes tuition for both magnet schools and students with special ed needs. And there will be future offsets against the deficit from the excess cost reimbursement grant that we receive from the state.
Any questions? Ms. Manella?
When, do you know when the ECS grant money, when you'll be notified of the offset to that line item?
Yeah, we get three installments, 25%. I think it comes in, is it January? And then 25%, I believe, in March, and then the
Okay.
rest in June.
Okay. Okay. It's just, I'm just trying to
Yep.
figure it out for budget season coming up. Thank you.
Any other questions? Mr. Kosker?
Yeah, and it's sort of an unfair question, but I'll ask, and you can maybe to address it next month if need be. But I know there's a new grant available at the state level, called the SEED grant for special education programming stuff. So I just didn't know the timeline on that, and if you have any update on that as far as our application for that and stuff like that.
It's a non-competitive grant, so we are guaranteed that those funds now. The application from the state hasn't been finished yet, but they have advised us to go ahead and spend the allotted amount in our district, and that kind of putting the cart before the horse there, but they know it's coming and they're working on that. We've already had conversations about how that money will be potentially spent, and that's for new programs and staff as of that weren't in the budget prior to July 1. So anything that's new.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with the grant. I was just curious. Yeah, any details you can give was great, so I appreciate that. And what's the amount that because I didn't hear that. I know it varies by district based on sort of the ECS formula, et cetera.
It's $93,000, and we've had a lot of discussions in regards to our needs, including in those discussions with Ms. Herman, the special ed director. So we decided that the way that we will spend the grant money to meet our needs right now is to look for 3 behavioral specialists to meet our elementary needs in those specialized programs, because we do have some challenging behaviors, and 1 math tutor. So like that, we're meeting the needs of students at Mosier School in Tier 2 and Tier 3.
That's great. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And I know understanding what went into that bill and what went into making that grant available, a lot of the focus was to keep students who might otherwise not be able to stay in district. So I really applaud you guys for doing the behavior specialists, because I think that's really something that I think we've needed here in the district. So I think, I imagine a lot of the teachers in the room would agree with that as well. So anyway, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Dr. Nozick and Dr. Diaz, for answering that question. All right, we are finally at the point where we are going to hear from Ms. Durand. Poor Ms. Durand has been tabled with her assessment data update for 2 meetings now, and so we are very happy to hear Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, Ms. Durand.
Jess is a nerd. She brought hers. I forgot. She just got it. You just got it through thinking.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to begin by congratulating our new board members and our new board chair, Ms. Lafredo. I'm going to apologize in advance because this is always a long presentation and there is a lot to go over. I will try to be thorough, but also keep in mind the time. So, before we can begin the presentation, some of you may have brought your binders with you this evening, and I will do my best to let you know where I am in the binder as we move through. And I do have a slide presentation that you can follow along with if you did not bring your binder this evening. I also want to acknowledge the dedication of our teachers, staff, and administrators whose daily work has contributed to the positive outcomes of our students. And while tonight we will review data from specific assessments, please know that we view each student holistically
academically, socially, and emotionally. We have much to be proud of as a district, and so I'm going to start by going to tab 1, and we'll talk a little bit about the different assessments that we have here. So, okay. So this slide here reminds us why we administer these assessments. There are federal and state laws that require annual assessments in grades 3 through 8. And in grade 11, we have the high school SAT and GSS science testing in grades 5, 8, and 11, and annual language proficiency testing for identified multilingual learners. These summative assessments provide an important academic snapshot and are part of our accountability responsibilities to the state and to families. We use the data to accurately reflect student achievement and growth as part of the state's accountability system. It provides valid and reliable measures of student progress, and it provides an annual snapshot of student achievement that should be used along with other information and tests. What we do not use it for is a sole measure of student achievement, and we also do not substitute for a wide variety of other relevant ways to assess student learning, such as classroom assessments, student work assignments, teacher observations, and detailed diagnostic assessments and evaluations. Okay, in your binder, there are a couple of pages about demographics that are not represented in our slides. I'm not going to spend time going over this as there's not a lot of difference here, but we do give you a 5-year look at our ML population and our special ed population over a 5-year time period. We know that both of those populations continue to grow in our district, and we often speak about that in our board meetings and in our subcommittee meetings, and it continues to be something that we work towards addressing and making sure we're meeting the needs of those students in our curriculum and instruction. The next page in your binder is a nice graphic of what a DIRG is for our new board members. You're going to hear me say DIRG probably 100 times in this presentation. But what that is it's our district reference group, and towns are placed into a district reference group based on a number of factors, mainly socioeconomic. And so we are in Group D. However, you're going to see that we will look at some slides this evening where we will compare our student assessment data, not to Group C, which is just above us, but Group D, because we often find that our test results fall somewhere in the middle of the DIRG B performance. Okay, so the first section in your book is tab 2 is going to go over the district performance index results. And just to give you a little bit of background, it's an index that goes up to 75, and the range is 0 to 100. The target is 75 that we strive to reach. So in this graphic that you're looking at here, this is our performance in math amongst our towns that are in DIRG D. And as you can see, we have placed first in our DIRG with a performance index of 74. And we also provided you with 3 years of data to look across, and you'll see that there's stability across those 3 years. Next, we're going to look at our district performance index for ELA. Again, Rocky Hill is shown with our counts and index across the 3 years, and the comparison to other districts in our DIRGs gives us perspective on our strengths and our areas to prioritize. Again, top of the DIRG with a performance index of 76. And then when we look at science, we notice that our performance here for grades 5, 8, and 11, remember that these assessments are only given in those grades, also extremely strong, ranking right towards the top of our DIRG. So much to be really proud of as a district and a board. Next, we're going to look at our performance as compared to the DIRG B districts. So, again, we're going to look at math, and you'll notice that we're ranked 15th amongst the districts in DIRG B, kind of in that middle of the road, like I said. And then in ELA, the same thing. We're in the middle, performing 13th when we compare and rank ourselves with the other towns that are in that DIRG. And the same with science, 15th in DIRG B. So when we look at this, we notice, again, like I said, our performance is strong across all 3 content areas. And this is stable over several years. I gave you 3, but even longer than that. So I don't know if perhaps I could stop here for a second before I go to the next section to see if there's any questions about those slides and that assessment. We're good?
I do not.
Okay. All right, so the next section we're going to look at is Smarter Balanced. And in your book, that's tab 3. Smarter Balanced is administered to students in grades 3 through 8. And students can achieve anywhere from a level 1 to a level 4 on the assessment. Within our DIRG, we look at the students who meet proficiency. Those are students who score a 3 or a 4. And so when we look at our math performance, we landed second in our DIRG for math performance across grades 3 through 8, with 66.8% of students reaching a level 3 or 4. That is, it's not approximately, it is 11.8% above the DIRG, and it's 20.9% above the state average. When we look at our ELA performance, this slide shows that our achievement was 3rd in our DIRG behind Stonington and East Granby, and we were 12.2% above the DIRG average and 20.2% above the state average. And then our comparison with DIRG B. So in math, we were slightly below the DIRG B average, ranking 17th amongst the towns that fall into this band. And then in ELA, slightly below the DIRG average at 17. But again, just the fact that we are competing with these towns, being that they're 2 DIRGs above us, is something that it's exceptional, honestly. It's something to really be proud of. In your binder, I also included some pages with charts of DIRG A. DIRG A. And the reason I included those was because at a recent subcommittee meeting, I think I was asked just like, how does DIRG A perform? So I gave you those numbers just to have a look at. All right, so that wraps up the Smarter Balanced section of the assessment results. So I don't know if there's any questions on that part. Mr. Kosker?
I do not.
Okay.
No questions, thank you.
All right. Okay, so I'm excited about this next section too because Mr. Foti and I collaborated last year to try to do some work around the SAT. So this is tab 4 in your binder. And you will see that there's a page that kind of gives you a little bit of a summary on the different levels within the SAT, noting that you can score up to 800 on the evidence-based reading and writing, and then also on the math section of the assessment. So, within our DIRG, oops, let me go back. Super impressive here. Again, number one. So number one in our DIRG is the theme of a lot of the assessment data that I'm going to share with you. The average score was 546, and the distribution and average score by the district ranks Rocky Hill at the top with an average of 48 points above the DIRG. For the evidence-based reading and writing, we ranked third with students' average score being 548, and that is 26 points above the DIRG average. So really great work here. We compared to DIRG B, and this is really interesting. We actually performed higher than the DIRG B average in mathematics, with the average score of 546. And then if you look at the evidence-based reading and writing, this slide shows that our performance is strong within our district, placing third. And the average score of our students was 559, with 76.4% of our students reaching a level 3 or 4. So, when we look at a 4-year trend, we notice that in school year 23-24, we did have a little bit of a dip over the stability of the other years in the 4-year trend. An important piece of information for the board to know is that in 2023-2024, that was the first year that the SAT went digital. And we did note that other towns across the state saw a very similar dip in that school year. However, we wanted to make sure that it wasn't more than just the change of platform to being digital. So last year we worked on putting into the high school advisory 8 weeks of SAT prep. And we hired Sam Rosenschoen's company to come in and do the evidence-based reading and writing with our grade 11 students during that advisory time. And then Brian Grasa, who's our math department head at the high school, worked with our grade 10 students on the math portion. And it's not reflected in your book or in the data, but something that's important to know is that those sessions really instilled confidence in students, and we had our highest participation rate in a really long time. And so then when you look at the results and the scores, knowing that the majority of the student body took the assessment, it makes the results even that more impressive. So it's, you know, if you look, the math went up 27 points, and the evidence-based reading and writing went up 31 points in that one, you know, between those 2 school years. All right, so before I jump to that, because I had to put a few pictures in here because I can't talk about numbers for this long and not talk about people. So I'm going to break it up a little bit with just a couple of pictures. But any questions about SATs before I move on?
This time I actually do have a question.
Okay.
The participation rate, just because you mentioned it, I didn't think of it otherwise, but what was the participation rate, or what is the participation rate, since
as soon
you
as
brought it up?
the words came out of my mouth, I'm
That's
like,
okay.
they're going
You
to
can
ask
get it-
me.
you can get it to us later
It was,
if you want.
it was
I-
very high.
Just 'cause you
I
said
think Mr.
majority, and I
Brady's
was
in
like-
here. when I looked at it, I think it's in the 90s,
Okay.
but I will get you the exact
No, that's
number.
cool. Yeah, majority sounds like, okay, 51%.
No, no,
you know, I was
no,
like,
no,
what's that?
no, no, no.
I
Like,
assume
we're
it's pretty high,
talking
but-
only a few kids who
Yeah,
did
okay,
not.
awesome, thank
So
you.
I'll get that number to you. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah, it was very high. So,
Okay, I just want to say thank you for those wonderful results. I currently do have a senior. I'm very, very impressed with the numbers. I will say that a huge shout out to the teachers at the high school, and Mr. Grace, Ms. Erajim, the whole team, all the math teachers. Miss Adele right there, everybody. I just want to say thank you, because without you guys, these scores would not have been where they are right now. So thank you.
absolutely, yes. And it's been a real collaborative effort. This year, we're working with the English department to replicate what the gentleman did for us last year. And so we'll have something that's sustainable and we can offer to students internally every year. So really great work, and we wouldn't be able to do it without the teachers who are willing to go above and beyond for this. So, and Mr. Fody, I'm going to give you a big shout out because you really were like, we're doing this, we're doing this. So it was a real team effort.
Mr. If you don't mind, I just have one more question before you move on to the next part.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Two things that you maybe don't necessarily need to talk about them today or present on them today, but maybe to our special education committee meeting is the alternate assessments that the students take. Students with special education needs, IEPs, take an alternate
Yeah.
assessment. Just some data on that would be helpful, I think.
Sure, we could do that in a subcommittee.
Yeah, maybe in a subcommittee meeting.
Yep.
And then also kind of the disproportionality. I know there's some measurements that looks at the disproportionality between students with disabilities and students without disabilities. So I
Mhm.
think that'll be helpful for a committee to see.
Yes, we
Thank
can
you.
work on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so you might not be sick of the numbers, but I need a break. So I wanted to just insert a picture here of our Career Center. Last month, this was in my presentation because it was going to be right before the open house. Since then, we've had the open house, but we've also had a lot of job shadows that are happening in that space. And I just think it's really great to remind ourselves that when we look at student growth, this is the end result that we're hoping to see in our students. The interest in what comes next. Where am I going? What do I want to do? So I think, I'm just so thrilled with how the high school has worked to really put that together, and it's going great. So moving on to science, the next generation science standards, and that's in tab 5 of your assessment book. The students in grades 5, 8, and 11 take the assessment. It is divided into 3 sections. There's life science, physical science, and earth space science. Again, we're going to look at the students who met proficiency, which means that they earned a level 3 or 4 on the assessment. Okay, so when we look at this, we see that we are above the DERG average, and we ranked 10th within our DERG, 5 percentage points above the average. This is something where I was looking at this a little bit. Last year, we were a little bit higher. Not much when you actually look at the percentage was actually higher. So I'll just give you the number. So we were 6th, the percentage was 65.2. Now we're 10th, and the percentage is 64.7. So it's also important to look at those kinds of things, like just because the number is a little bit lower, the number actually might have been higher based on how other towns performed. So, so there is stability there, I guess, is the point I'm trying to make. And then with DERG B, the comparison, we ranked 20th, but still competing with these towns that are 2 bands above us. Okay. So, Kim Antal, I don't know how many of you know Kim Antal, but she is our botany teacher at the high school, and Leanne from Sodexo. They teamed up last month to bring our high school students some delicious produce that they grew from our newly renovated greenhouses. The students used basil to make fresh salsa, and then they offered a taste test during lunch waves. It's just really great to see science come to life in pictures like this and with projects like these. So Ms. Antal and Mr. DeBacco secured the grant for the high school. They've secured it for several years in a row now. And it's called the Farm to School Experiential Learning Grant. And they've brought over $32,000 to our district to improve our students' experience with projects like these. So I just wanted to acknowledge when we talk about numbers and we talk about subject areas, this is it coming to life in our hallway, in our classrooms, in our cafeterias. So it's really great to see our teachers who are going above and beyond to bring these things to our students. Okay, next, the lost links. So this is tab 6 in your binder. And this assessment is for our ML population. Students in grades K through 12 take this assessment, and they have to have been officially identified as an ML learner through a screening process. Once identified, they need to meet certain criteria to exit. So to be considered English language proficient, they need to score a level 4 or 5 overall, and they also have to score a level 4 or 5 on reading and a level 4 or 5 on writing. So it's not easy for a new arrival to reach those levels. It often takes many years. And as a district with we've always had MLs, but it's a growing population in our district. We are spending a lot of time working on looking at how we're supporting our ML learners, what more can we do across our school districts to support this student population. We do a wonderful job with these students. And you're going to see in our data that we are really getting results as a district when you see in across 3 years, right, 38.3% proficient, reached proficiency and exited services. And that put us second in the DERG for students reaching that English language proficiency. I did want to just mention one thing on that slide. You may notice the asterisks in not just this slide, but some of the other slides. And I've been asked that question in the past. If there is not a large enough sample of students, they cannot report the data. So that's what East Granby is a very small district. And then DERG B, again, looking at this same assessment, third among DERG B, with our students reaching proficiency way above the average in this DERG as well. Okay. So there are, I mentioned the subtests already, and this is a little bit of a breakdown of the subtests, and it paints the picture that we would expect, which is that students, the last subtests that they are able to gain proficiency in are usually those that require written expression and are the most challenging for our students. So you see that reflected in this table and this data set. And then here are some of our ML families at last month's family night. We had a huge community partnership for this event, and I would like to take a minute just to publicly thank all of our town officials that came out to support our families and help them learn about all that Rocky Hill has to offer. It was a great evening. AP classes. This is tab 7 in your binder. We're flying through this. I can't believe it. Any questions? No? All right. So for the AP results, the total number of AP students was 161. Often these students take more than one exam. So the total number of exams taken was 343, but that's with only 161 students taking those exams. The range of scores a student can achieve are 1 through 5, and this table shows that the majority of students scored a 3 or above, which is what most colleges accept for credit. The courses that students took in the 24-25 school year at the AP level are listed in this table. Some subjects in the list we don't offer at Rocky Hill High School, and the students actually take those exams independently. There's a lot going on this slide. This is a 5-year trend of achievement. So again, here the NAs mean that no one took the exam that year, but you can see that there is a variance of students across classes and content areas that are taking these exams. Oh, sorry, that's what I was thinking I was on and was not. So this is the chart that just has a lot going on here, but you can see that there's a lot of different AP classes that kids are taking and getting great scores on. And then our last thing, you were given an insert that we can you can add to the back of your binder. It was at your seat tonight. It's hot off the press. Had I given this presentation in October, I would not have included these. They were just released a couple weeks ago. And I usually present, or this is usually presented in the spring, but because we do have it, and I wanted to take the time to just share with you, we have a 3-year trend that we put together for our accountability index on the Next Generation Accountability Standards. So what is the Next Generation Accountability System? It is the way that the state assesses schools. It looks holistically at the school and the district. It looks at tracking progress. It is a way for schools and districts to help make improvements and show where support is needed. And it just really provides a full picture because there's 13 indicators. So the assessments that I shared tonight are part of that, but it also looks at everything from attendance to graduation rates to all kinds of things. I'm forgetting the whole list, but there's 13 different indicators. And in order to be recognized as a school of distinction, you must reach an accountability index of 85 or above. So this year, West Hill did achieve that school of distinction status. And you'll notice that we're as a district, we're doing great, and we're really close to that across the board. So, so it was great that came in time for me to include tonight. And then in conclusion, I just wanted to say that I've shared some of the contributing factors and next steps that we have identified on this slide right here for your review. But I just want to reaffirm that our vision is to develop competent, ethical, healthy, responsible, and intellectually reflective citizens who demonstrate high achievement and a love of lifelong learning. And that remains central to how we interpret these data and design supports. We will continue with a growth mindset and a focus on continuous improvement. And that really comes right out of our district vision. So with that, I welcome any questions from the board.
No questions.
All right.
Okay.
Great.
I do want to say thank you. I'm so glad that you finally got an opportunity to share all of this wonderful data. I know you've been waiting a while. I, like you, also love data, but I get that the numbers can be a bit much. So thank you so much for also instilling some of, and including some of the pictures so that we could see our students in action. And I think it makes a lot more sense to see that as well, along with the data as we are talking about our young students. So lots to be proud of, and we do appreciate you presenting in a pretty good time too. You did a great job. I was watching the clock,
Thank you.
so well done, Ms. Duran.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to agenda item, I think is now 13. It is the superintendent's report, and that is Dr. Zito.
Brief, I want to congratulate our board members, each of you, for your election to a new two-year term. On behalf of the leadership team and the entire staff, we look forward to working with you in the interests of our students. Just a quick reminder, one of the highlights on the calendar that we put in a few years ago, schools are closed for students and teachers on Wednesday, November 26th, so an early jump on the Thanksgiving holiday. I want to acknowledge Mr. Trudeau. I think the feedback I'm getting is that he's doing a great job as our new Director of Athletics and Student Activities. I had an opportunity to go watch one of our student athletes compete in the state cross-country meet, and I was able to get to a couple of the girls' soccer playoff games, including the tough loss in the semifinals. And Mr. Trudeau is at everything. He's everywhere. So it's impressive. But it's a great fall season. And honestly, more importantly than the wins and losses, from what I see, is the sportsmanship that's evident. And you see that at our playoff games. Good crowd support. Tremendous sportsmanship exhibited by our student athletes and our coaches and our fans as well. So really good fall season, looking forward to the winter. And then finally, I just want to thank Wendy for doing a great job tonight. It can be a little dry, but she does a great job presenting everything. A lot of important information that we kind of look at. We've talked about this with the curriculum committee. We do very well in the district. And even the best districts in the state, when you look at their percentage of students, and I think Mr. Kosker alluded to this a little bit, you still see that even in a really good score is like 75% of your kids on any metric meeting goal for the state, levels 3 or 4. So that still means even the districts like ours that are doing really well, there's 25% of the kids that we need to keep pushing. So, the emphasis on a growth mindset, continuous improvement, and just not resting on our laurels is probably something that's important for us all to kind of to think about as we look at the next level of work here in Rocky Hill. But great job, excellent results here, and a testament to the staff who works really hard with our kids every day. So those are my comments. Thank you.
And the last agenda item is the board chair report. And although it may be a little lengthy, I'm going to also add in the committees at the end so that you know who is chairing the committees and where all of the board members will be, so bear with me. Good evening, and thank you to all of the students, staff, and families that have filled this room tonight. I'm very honored to be the newly elected chair of the Board of Education. This isn't a position that I step into lightly. I am deeply humbled and aware that this role carries not only the trust of this board, but the confidence of our community, our educators, and most importantly, our students. I would like to take a moment to welcome our newest members, Mr. Brian Addy and Ms. Kristen Dudanowitz. I am so happy to have you both on our team. The recent election season was a passionate one, and campaigns often highlight our differences, but tonight that season is behind us. We are no longer candidates, we are colleagues with a shared mission, and that is to work responsibly and to ensure that every decision we make advances the success and well-being of our students. Our role as a board is to uphold the bylaws and policies that guide this district, maintain public trust, and understand information presented to us in order to make informed, ethical, and student-centered decisions. We must continue to support the administrators, our teachers, and paraeducators who devote themselves daily to the growth, safety, and success of our students. Their dedication forms the heartbeat of our schools. It is our responsibility to ensure that they have the resources, the guidance, and the support necessary to carry out this vital work effectively. But leadership is not just about policy or procedure. It's about tone and example. We will face challenges. We will not always agree, but we must remain respectful. Our students are watching how we lead. And I truly believe that when we lead with core values like respect, empathy, honesty, and courage, we not only strengthen our schools, but we strengthen our community. We remind everyone watching that public service is about collaboration. It's about doing the hard work together even when it's uncomfortable, because the future of our students is too important to do anything less than our best. So as we begin this new chapter, let this board be known for our integrity, our transparency, compassion, and our unwavering dedication to every student in this district. Whether they are learners who excel or those who need additional support, students navigating language barriers or unique learning styles, children discovering their passions or overcoming challenges, and all who walk through our doors with their own stories, backgrounds, and dreams. As your chair, I pledge that this board will work together to move our district forward with the full awareness of the trust that you have placed in us, and strive to provide an exceptional education that empowers every student in the Rocky Hill schools to reach their fullest potential. Before we say goodnight, I'd like to review the committee appointments for the Board of Education. Those appointments: for Finance Committee, the chair is Ms. Minella, and our board members are Ms. Dudanowitz and Ms. Tucker. Curriculum Committee, the chair, Ms. Dudanowitz, board members Mr. Kosker and Ms. Tucker. Policy Committee, chair, Ms. Dudanowitz, board members Ms. Morfea and Mr. Shabra. School Safety, the chair, Ms. Morfea, board members Ms. Minella, Mr. Clemens. Personnel and Negotiations Committee, also known as PNN, chair, Ms. Minella, board members Mr. Kosker and Ms. Tucker. Special Education Committee, chair, Mr. Kosker, board members Ms. Dudanowitz and Mr. Addy. Technology Committee, chair, Ms. Minella, board members Ms. Morfea and Mr. Clemens. The Civility and Respect Committee, we thought that we should change that name, and it was just a little bit harder for us to try to wrap our brains around. The chair, Ms. Morfea, came up with what we feel is a great acronym called VOICE, the values of inclusion, community, and equity. It is the voice of our students and of our community. And the chair, Ms. Morfea, board members Mr. Kosker, Mr. Shabra, and Mr. Addy. And Facilities Committee, chair, Mr. Kosker, Ms. Dudanowitz, Mr. Shabra, and Mr. Addy. It's important just to add to your calendars as a note that the Facilities Committee meeting is scheduled to meet on December 9th at 6:30 at Mosier School. And I want you to be aware that the members of the Board of Education will also have a training session with CABE on December 18th at 5 p.m. This training session will be before our regularly scheduled board meeting that evening, which starts at 7 p.m. And board members who are new, and for those of you returning, please remember to read the Friday memo that Dr. Zito sends to your board email. That's where you will find any updates and reminders about these meetings. I would personally like to thank Sandy Mall for sitting in the corner over there and taking all of the notes tonight. Thank you so much for doing all of the background work for us. And it is customary on the first meeting for us to open up the floor to any board member that would like to speak tonight before we say goodnight. Do I have any board members that would like to speak? Okay. No, no one wants to say anything. Mr. Kosker, you're sure?
I'm sure.
All right.
I'll save it for another day.
Okay, all right. Well, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Ms. Manella. Second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Addy. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Thank you. All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, we are closing our meeting of the Board of Education at 8:48.